So today we're going to be showing you guys a nice solo player, one of the probably the best armor regen builds you can put out that actually has a lot of DPS to associated with it. Now when you pair all these talents together along with the weapon, along with the specialization class, you'll notice that this thing actually can put out some pretty solid damage. In this video, we'll be going through all of that, and as you guys are seeing in the gameplay, hey, we are doing what we're supposed to be doing with this build, and that is put out damage, have survivability, and have one of the best armor regen builds in the game. This thing is just absolutely amazing, and once you guys have a full stack, you guys can see how powerful this build can really be. So that will be what we will be showing you in this video. But before we do, make sure you guys leave a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys are new, hitting subscribe, turn the notification bell on really helps out the channel and lets you guys get notified every time I release a video. So if you guys are ready, once we get this final kill, we'll dive right into the build. So if we get into the build, you guys can see that we are running the gunner class. Yes, I love the gunner class because of that armor on kill. And then also when you do pop those armor kits, you do get more armor. You get rate of fire when you do get a kill. Just a lot of little things you get from the specialization that I think work really good with this build. Now you guys can probably notice that we're sitting at 1.9 million armor, 332,000 health. We have 1 red, 6 blues, and 1 yellow on the build. So yeah, a lot of blues to get us up there to 1.9 million armor. We are running the Lady Death, and the Lady Death gives us 76,000 base damage. Now this does not include every time we pick up a trophy, and you'll notice why once we show you the backpack. We have 15% skill damage, 18% critical hit chance, and 6% damage to armor. And then for the talent, we have Breathe Free. When moving, you gain 4 stacks per second or 8 stacks if sprinting, up to 32 stacks total. Each round fire consumes a stack, amplifying your damage by 75%. Now the kills grant 20% movement speed for 10 seconds. So that's why sometimes you see once you get a kill, you start sprinting around looking all crazy. It's all because of this talent right here. And then having that extra amplified damage when you finally release that damage, it's pretty amazing. For the secondary, I like running the mop. This is like my go-to, my backup. 834,000 damage. And look, 15% skill shotgun damage, 12% damage to armor, and 10% armor on kill. Preservation, killing an enemy repairs 10% armor over 5 seconds. Now, if I get a headshot kill, it improves the repair to an additional 10%. So that's 20% armor on kill if I get a headshot kill with this. That's a lot you can get, and you pair that up with the armor regen that we have on this build, and you're gonna be like, holy, this thing has a lot of survivability. But yeah, those are the go-tos right here. So for the mask, we're rolling the golden mask. This gives us 10% status effects, right? That's gonna actually work with the pulse we're using. We have armor regen, and then we have total armor because we are running a 3-piece. So we have armor on here, we have armor regen, and you're gonna see that pretty much rolled on every piece because we want to maximize the armor regen we have on this build. We have crit damage, and then a crit damage mod. Now we are using an SMG because that allows us to already have some crit chance. So without having to stack crit chance on the build, I'm able to get close to that 50 to 60% crit chance that we always want to have, right? So that's ideally what you'll see on this build. For our second piece, we have the Hunter Killer. Now this one, you remember you have to do the mask in Warlords. So this 2-piece gives us that 1% armor regen. We have armor on here. We have armor regen again, like I said, and then we have crit damage. And then on this piece, I decided to roll crit chance mod because I wanted to get closer to 50%, well, a little bit above 50% crit chance, and we'll show you my crit chance on this build. Now, what's good about Perfect Intimidate is we get, listen, while you have bonus armor, you amplify total weapon damage by 40%. So that's a lot better than Intimidate, and that's all the enemies within 10 meters, and that's how we're going to be fighting with this build. So we should be able to keep armor up with having 1.9 million armor, and as we collect trophies, we should be able to keep that armor max stack, being able to just destroy those enemies, put out that additional amplified damage, and that's why we're able to still really hit enemies really hard with only 1 red. For our holster, we have the Bellstone Armory. This gives us 1% armor regen. We have armor on here, armor regen, and then critical hit damage. So ideally, you're gonna see a lot of armor regen all through this build, and that's why when we are in trouble, you can see our armor regen is kicking in really quick as soon as we get into some type of cover. And then for the knee pads, we have the Emperor's Guard knee pads. This gives us 20% skill duration, so that's going to work with our pulse. But then look, take a look at this. Core attributes, we have armor, armor regen, and then critical hit damage. So the good thing about this piece is the 1% armor regen that you can only get on these knee pads, right? This is, I believe this might be one of the pieces you do have to try to find in the dark zone, or you have to get it from a name cache. Either one is where you're probably gonna find these. I believe that's where you guys can find this. Sometimes you can see it at the vendors for sale, but this extra 1% armor regen makes a huge difference when you have 1.9 million armor. And that's why I like it. It pretty much maxing out the armor regen on this build. We're maxed. I don't even think you could put any more armor regen on this build, hands down. Then for the gloves, we have our third piece of golden gear. So this gives us an additional 5% total armor. So that's why we're sitting at that 1.9 million armor. We have armor, armor regen, and then critical hit chance on here. And then the backpack. The backpack is what really sets it off. The Memento backpack, which you guys could have got from last season. It has weapon damage, armor, skill tier, and then we have a 12% critical hit damage mod. Now, the reason why this is so good is because of the fact that we get an additional 3% armor regen. Yes, 3% armor regen once we have full stack. So once we have a 30 stack, we get 30% weapon damage all for 300 seconds. We get 3% skill efficiency, and 30% skill efficiency, and then we get 3% armor regen. So that 3% armor regen stacks up with the extra armor regen we already have on the build. Because remember, we're getting 1% from the knee pads, we're getting 1% from Bellstone Armory, and we're getting 1% from a 2-piece golden gear. So that's already 3% there. Plus we're getting additional 3% here, so 6%. And then it doesn't even just stop there, because you guys have to remember, when you get a kill confirmed, you get an additional 5% weapon damage because we have 1 red. We also get 60% bonus armor, and then we also get another 5% skill efficiency. So once that bonus armor kicks on, it allows our armor regen to keep kicking in, right? Because the bonus armor, they're going against that bonus armor. So it really works hand in hand. And that's why with this build, once you're at full stack, you're putting out a lot of damage for having so many blues. And if we take a look at the stats, you can see that on our SMG, we only have 64,000 damage, but we're at that 50% crit hit chance where I want to be minimum 60s max, right? We have 120% critical hit damage, 70% headshot damage, 6% armor damage. So enough damage out of there once we get the amplified damage from the chest piece Intimidate, and once we pick up a trophy, getting that extra buff of 5% critical hit damage. And if we're at max stack, we already have that 30% on top of the build. So a lot of damage that you see coming straight from the Lady Death. And this actually works really good. You do have to reload a lot, but if you use your quickness, your movement, you can see that we are looking really good. And if we go to the armor, you can see that we have 1.9 million armor. We have 191,000 armor regen. And for armor regeneration, without the stack, we're 76,000. And you guys saw with the stack, we're at like 131,000, I believe. I'll show you that right now. But yeah, awesome build to run. If you guys are looking at running this build, I highly recommend it. For the skills, we're running the Gunner Pulse. So this is the Banshee Pulse, you can only use it with the Gunner class, and that disorients the enemy, and that's why it works really good. And then we are running the shield to allow us to really protect ourselves if we're getting hit in those sticky situations. So hand in hand, this is how I run the build. I think you guys will enjoy it. If you guys have any questions, hey, let me know. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Let me know what you guys think about this build. I think it's probably one of the best solo player armor regen builds in the game, and I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. So I'll see you guys in the next one, but until then, hey, nothing but skills out. Take it easy, everybody.
I got you now. Fucking